was seeking at that time under the influence of these other spirits, under these B'nai Ha-Elohim, these other sons of God that rebelled, like you read about in Psalm chapter 2, these beings that should have done justice, that should have brought forth information and knowledge, but instead what they did is they began to reveal the secrets of heaven before their appointed time. They began to reveal to men certain ways of communicating with them in divination, the cutting of roots, incantation, sorceries, use of weapons and armor, the beautification of the eyes, makeup. They also taught women how to kill their own babies in the womb. They taught them how to commit infanticide. Like, this is where that dark, evil world that we look around and we're like, where did all this come from? It came from these beings, okay? And what you're seeing here is people that are portraying the invocation of releasing these beings, again, that they're calling upon these mighty ones to come forth. And these are the physical representations of them on like this plane. But what they're doing is they're using priestesses and priests to call upon them as they then turn on what would in antiquity be something that was contemporaneous to the time before the flood, before there was this great judgment, is that we had these massive technological devices that were interconnecting a global network of powerful communications devices that were seeking to open realms and open portals to reascend into the heavens and be able to wage their war. This is what happened at the Tower of Babel, y'all. The reason they were trying to ascend, and Nimrod was trying to gather all the nations together under one collective mind, which is what CERN was brought forth to do, y'all. The internet that Sean and I are using right now to communicate, this very same technology that we're using, came to fruition from these very same people at CERN. They were the first ones to start bringing all of these into independent means of communication and starting to interlock them. Them, along with DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, were using this to be able to communicate so they could do the really what is the reversal of Babel, which is they're trying to bring about a way of collectively uniting the hearts and the minds of men into one focus. And at the end of it, it truly is to make a war, a collective war against the people who guard the commandments of Yahweh, who keep the testimonies of Yeshua, and everyone who would do morally, everyone who would actually seek to walk out a life in any level of biblical morality, at any concept of it. They're going to seek to steal, kill, and destroy every version of it, because that's what they're here to do. These are these altered ones. And the book of First Enoch is one of the best, if any of you guys have not read it, which describes, let me just grab it for you real quick here, Sean. The book I'm reading from here is put out by a guy named Rob Skiba, who passed away a couple of years ago. This is called Genesis and the Synchronized Biblically Endorsed Extra Biblical Text, featuring Genesis, First Enoch, Jasher, and Jubilees, y'all. There were some very important texts that used to be considered part of Scripture, and that, I mean, if you go back to the 1611 King James, a lot of these